Welcome back to another market closing live stream. Super excited. Love me the market close. Let's see what the heck is going on in the stock market and provide that insight and perspective as usual. But hold on a sec. What is this coverage right here? AMC plotting different path in raising capital.
Call women breeders today, breeding people or something like that. Did you say something crazy about it?
I haven't seen that, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Because I just got I got like 10 emails about this from the viewers. So anyway,
Oh boy,
we'll have to leave that. My investigative reporting is. We'll come back to that later on today.
Please do.
We'll pull back on this here. I want to see why the chat is. I think the chat just broke here. Give me a second here. Are we able to chat with it? Something wrong with it? I don't know why it says live chat's disabled. It's definitely not. I might have to restart then. Hold on a sec. That's weird. I don't see anyone else being able to comment right now either. Let me know if you can comment. Chat. Yeah, something might be wrong with this stream. Yeah, it says chat's disabled. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay. Let me try. I definitely didn't disable chat. Oh! No. It thinks this is made for kids. It's stupid. There we go. There we go. Okay, we had a little moment there. We had a little moment where the chat got disabled. I'm sorry. It's like, oh, this is made for kids. It's like, no, it's not. All right. Let's listen to this.
He's got maybe one of the five most difficult jobs, I think, in corporate America. On top of it all, he's dealing with an investor base that's mainly retail, and that's where he could get into some trouble, and that's where the GameStop guys can get into some trouble. What's the trouble? The trouble is if you promise too much and you don't deliver, and the SEC will be breathing down your necks. If you say that, if you one of the smart things he did, again, despite the fact that the stock is running up, he came out with an announcement and said it's probably overvalued. If you notice GameStop, they basically say we have a tough road ahead.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this Ortex tweet. This is incredible. This is interesting. So I see this from the comments here. Somebody just commented, for May 28th, the exchange is reporting short interest in AMC as 102.3 million shares. That's about 25%. This is a larger number than expected, which was closer to 20% than expected, and indicates a higher anticipated short interest in AMC. The unexpectedly high short interest implies that the shares returned in this period were atypically not shorted shares, but instead shares that were borrowed but not shorted. Ooh, interesting. The mystery continues. Full details. We'll update estimates tomorrow based on the latest exchange release data. Yeah, because remember that Ortex and S3 Partners will put together information based on estimates. And then when we actually get returns, that's when we can get that 2-week update on short interest data, actual short interest data. This lag time is very, very frustrating for the shorts. But yeah, I mean, the one thing that you generally do get is you get, the way I like to look at the data is as a trend. Are we trending down? Are we trending up? How are we moving? But this is a very interesting tweet by Ortex. Now, that is as of the 28th. So again, that's still about 25%. And we're more interested in knowing the short interest here recently, but it is fascinating. It'll be interesting to see how that affects that change on the 20th, how that affects their other projections and their estimates. So tomorrow will be very, very interesting if this is true for Ortex. Now, keep in mind, S3 Partners with the Bloomberg, they do their own estimates, and their estimates have generally been a little bit higher than Ortex. So we'll see if maybe that one's closer. And we'll be able to see which one's closer. See, they're at 11.04. We're at like 12.6 or something like that on the S3. Anyway, very interesting. Let's go ahead and get into the Webull data. Let's see what we got over here. So it looks like we've got, okay, a little bit of a chillaxing here towards the end of the day. Let's go to the 5-minute here. Let's start with the end. So Clover's really giving up a substantial amount here, 23%. A little bit of a sell-off going into the close here in about 7 minutes. We've got Wendy's down 12.5% now. And we've got Eyes and Wish down as well. Wish I was very concerned about yesterday. I feel like it ran for the wrong reasons. And, it's not to say that it doesn't deserve to run and that, I mean, I want to see people make money, but y'all were here. I was a little concerned about what we saw yesterday. So with the messed up information on how much of it was actually short, the data is such a mess. I mean, it's not a surprise that people are skeptical of Wall Street. You should be when the data is always such a mess. Now, what's interesting is we don't actually see much of an AMC movement here on this tweet from an hour ago. So the market really isn't pricing in action. We did have a little bit of a run. Let's see here. Right now we're sitting at about 350 we had a little bit of a run here, possibly following this Ortex information. So a little bit of a recovery, but we've really just given that all up here going into the close. Yeah, pretty much gave that up right here into the close. So a temporary push, but otherwise still down about 9.7 here on AMC. UiPath 9.13, Ocugen 8, SoFi. Oh, man. We were even looking at that one yesterday, indicating or suggesting like, should we take some of our attendees out on SoFi now or do we wait? Well, oh well. It is a January call that I have on SoFi, so I've got time. But come on with the U-turn here. What's up with that? We did close out earlier of all of our options that we have. We took our profits. I think on the options of the last couple days, we put in about 50, 60K and just took out about 12K in profits, which was really nice. We sent out those alerts, of course, as usual in the Stocks and Psychology Money Group, link down below. But let's focus right now on the things that are still green and how our trends are moving here. Geo is doing all right. I mean, holding on to 40% throughout the day is pretty much flat. Let's see how that looks relative to how our open was. Yeah, pretty, a little higher than flat. Okay, a little higher on the day here. We've got Root sitting around that consistent 20%. Very, very, pretty much flat here throughout the day. Root is one that we bought yesterday, took some big profits on today. Root was really the move that that helped push some of these shorter term swings up. So that was very nice, especially since Canoe sold off. We got rid of Canoe when it was down about percent. It looks like it's really accelerated down here the rest of the day. The darn thing opened up like 14% and just gave up about a full 20% here on the day. A little bit of sort of a softening in the momentum trades is what it feels like we're seeing right now. Something important to keep an eye on as well is if we have a softening in momentum, does that potentially mean those shorter term red days are coming up? And then are those red days going to be opportunities to reload the shotgun, so to speak, load up on more positions, load up on more options, and get in? So then we've got Big Digital here at 8. Sorry, this is Honest Company up at 8.5%. Big Digital up 7%. Yesterday, I promised I would buy them if they just would hit $1 while they were selling off yesterday. We didn't end up getting that. Let's see, the 8th is right here. We got pretty low yesterday. We got to $1.19 for a period of time there on Big Digital. Unfortunately, did not buy at $1.19, was waiting for $1, and here it is, up 7%. Darn me. Oh, well. We've also got Riot and Marathon U-turning here. I think we've got great news. I bought a little bit of crypto this morning. I think we finally had some solid news on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies in the form of what I made a video about yesterday. So if you haven't seen this yet, well, it was actually a video that I posted at midnight, so it could have presumably been today already. But here, Meet Kevin FBI Hack. Watch that one. Really, really good if you have not seen this yet. So I posted this at midnight. Bitcoin exposed the secret behind the FBI's crypto hack, Darkside. This was actually really bullish on Bitcoin if you watch the video. So was very excited about this and crypto in general. Very excited about these insights. And I think they're a little underwatched at the moment, underappreciated at the moment. So it's very good. And I think that potentially is also, not my video, but what happened is leading to a move to the upside in cryptos. We've got Honest, UW, United Wholesale, 9% here. We've got Genius up, Tilray's up. Tilray CEO was on earlier. Reddit, on TV earlier, on CNBC. Macy's up 4.7. Matterport sitting at almost 16 here. It's really been sneaking up on us. Just 2%, 2%, 3%, 3% over and over and over again. Arcimoto down from its highs in the day here, was up about 8%. Somebody's asking if I have the workhorse options. I got rid of my options on Arcimoto and Workhorse over the past few days as we took some tendies on them, and we're looking to rebuy again. So I'm purposely trying to swing trade these smaller positions because it's kind of been easy, and it's been fun to watch the momentum, with the exception of course, AMC. AMC, I promised I would hodl, and that we are holding. And so any kind of, if AMC goes down, any kind of losses, no worries. We're going to make them up by swinging the other momentum stocks. And then when AMC goes to the moon, we'll win there too. So we got Workhorse still doing well, though. It's still on its way to 20, right? 16.95. It's been here before, been here for the last couple days. Would like to see a little bit more of a push, but we're seeing a little bit of what feels like a slowdown in the volume for the momentum plays. Let's actually see if we can justify that belief or be proven wrong. So volume-wise, let's see. Let's go to the 30-minute volume here. 30-minute volume on Workhorse, for example, we're somewhere between 3 to 7 million. Yesterday, we were closer. Yeah, yesterday we had actually less volume, but on our run day, well, no, we're consistently around the same volume here. If anything, it looks like we did have more volume yesterday than we do today, but both of these days have more volume than we have had previously. As far as AMC, let's get the closing bell, and then we'll come back to some of these others here.
But definitely not going there today. Utilities, healthcare, real estate, and technology are going to close up as far as sectors in the S&P. Lower, financials and industrial, each down 1%. Materials.
So loud.
All lower. Tech having some relative outperformance today, though the Nasdaq is still going to close lower. Amazon.
All right, can't hear a word Sarah saying during that, but let's go ahead and see how things closed up for the day and how things are reacting in the after hours. So we've got towards the downside, Clover Health moving down 23%. After hours movements just beginning here, slightly green. You got Wish down 8.8%. AMC ends a whole 10.4% down. Look at volume though on AMC. So let's go to the 1 hour here. Is easier to see. Ooh, look at that volume, that change in volume. So you really see this growth in volume over here. No volume here. This is like end of May, right? Volume grow, down, smallest. Just looking at these little sticks here at the bottom, the smallest level of sticks has really been concentrated amongst today, which is also a day. It's down 10%. It's down another 0.78% down in the after hours. We'll keep an eye on this, but volume definitely declining on AMC. Not as clear a pattern at a company like Workhorse. Clover, we would expect a massive amount of volume yesterday. Yeah, here's your massive spike in volume compared by a softer follow-up today. Then we have, let's see, what else do we have? Geo. Okay, this is pre-market after hours. Let's see how things ended on the day, though. So Geo, Root, taking the cake for winners here. Ride Marathon finally rotating back up. Positive news on cryptocurrencies, positive news on how that crypto wallet was probably seized. We saw the dark side warrant in the video I covered yesterday. UWMC up 8.8, Workhorse up 8.4, trending towards that $20. Ashford Hospitality also up about 6%. Got Macy's. We got some retail coming up over here. Actually, it looks like just Macy's. Just Macy's. Yeah, there we go. We've got some cannabis up 3 to 5% today. Planet 13, Tilray, Matterport 3%. We have Coinbase. Coinbase actually, wow, it actually had a green day. Barely 1.66%, but Coinbase has been getting wrecked. And some more volume recently, though, especially today. But otherwise, volume is substantially down from higher levels of the past. It's also one that has been suffering under the latest crypto FUD, which has been pretty frustrating for the crypto community. Clover still sitting, still slightly down in the after hours. Not a big deal here, though, but definitely felt like we had that sort of one-day squeeze, and then now we're down 23%. A little bit of a bummer on Clover, and I'm going to keep an eye on the rest of the momentum sector, as I'm a little bit concerned that momentum might take a short hiatus. We'll see how long it lasts, but right now we are seeing volume decline, and it's leading to some of these price declines as well. If we go on a hiatus on volume or people being interested in momentum trading, then we can see another little vacation on how long it is until we actually see the momentum stocks run again. Remember, they go in cycles. Things always go in cycles. We had healthcare sell off first, then we had tech consumer discretionary sell off, then momentum sold off, then crypto sold off. Now we're kind of working our way back, right? We saw momentum swing up. If we take a vacation from momentum, maybe we'll see crypto swing up. That's why I made a crypto investment this morning. I'll talk about that more later. And then it begs the question too, are we maybe going to see tech and some of the other EV plays start coming back as well? Tech, here's Tesla, for example, down 0.8% on the day, slightly red in the after hours. Apple, just to get a feeling of the other fangs here, Apple pretty much flat on the day, virtually no movement. Amazon, nope, not Amazon, Amazon.com, up about 0.5%, pretty much flat in the after hours. Kind of boring, not that exciting of a day here. Any updates regarding the chip shortages? Regularly looking at the best way to do that is go through earnings reports and specifically the earnings transcripts and see what companies are saying about that. Yeah, but it'll take some time for earnings to or supply chains to really catch up. Let's see. Speaking of earnings, if we have any earnings, I do want to catch up with CNBC here for a moment, and I'll see what kind of earnings might be coming up here in a moment.
Component. That's why I keep rereading my own history, looking at the 1970s, and it worries me how stealthily we got up to 1970.
Right, GameStop, of course. GameStop 425 is the GameStop release here.
You can't tell what the date is going to be.
I totally blanked on that, and I'm like, oh, that's today? I'm like, yeah, it's today.
Inflation rate, and therefore for the interest yields.
But whether it's transitory or not, Josh, there's inflation in this economy. Campbell's Soup closed down 6.5% today, and that was where a lot of the margin pressure came from. How are you assessing it across your names, and which stocks could benefit and which could be hurt?
So I think I think we can't really say that all of the inflation will be transitory. It's not realistic. You can't give people an increase in wages and then take them back just because pricing pressures elsewhere in the economy ease. It's just not how human nature works. That's why whenever there's a recession, people don't take pay cuts and save everyone else's jobs. It's some people keep their...
Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull off the talk about not being able to reduce wages again, because GameStop is actually now running in anticipation of the GameStop earnings. We are up 4.6% here in the after hours, up about 0.5% on the day. Have to say, I don't think many people thought GameStop would be sitting over $300 again during the January run. But boy, oh boy, look at that. It's at $314 right now. Pretty incredible. So what are we expecting for earnings for GameStop? Well, first things first, I'm going to pull up the market expectations, Wall Street's expectations. But first things first, we got to kind of think just logically about it. We know that Ryan Cohen was appointed or voted in rather by shareholders. Here we go. Let's get that autofill. There we go. Was voted. There we go. Head of the board, which is awesome. Now he's not just a board member. He's the head of the board. In addition to that, we expect to hear from him and potentially hear plans for the future of GameStop. I would not hold my breath, though. Usually on earnings calls, we don't end up getting massive, how should we say it? Massive announcements in earnings calls, earnings reports. Generally get those at different events, but you never know. GameStop right now is an unconventional or operating like an unconventional company in the stock market. And so we could go in any direction in the earnings call for GameStop. So it'll be fascinating to see what happens with GameStop. We've also got to set up expectations for not just what we hope they're going to talk about, whether that's entertainment in the stores, making these stores basically anchor stores for malls to get more people coming back to malls again. Using GameStop as a way to bring people. You want to see NFTs, right? What kind of NFT updates do we have? Can we have tournaments like esports at a GameStop and then maybe NFT the moments and sell them there in the store? So many things to consider regarding what could happen with AMC. And I think the world is really sitting on the sidelines right now waiting for, hold on, here they just named the CEO. Waiting for answers.
Both from Amazon. First, let's get to the CEO, Matt Furlong. They describe him as a veteran e-commerce leader, technology industry executive. He's joining from Amazon. We also have Mike Riccupero, he is also from Amazon, new CFO. They call him a seasoned technology industry finance executive. Furlong was based in Australia, they say. Most recently, he was the country leader, oversaw Amazon's Australia business during a period of substantial growth. He has been at Amazon for about 9 years, started his career at Procter & Gamble. Both of these guys, though, coming from Amazon, they've also hired a COO from Amazon. So this really playing into sort of what has been until now a sort of opaque turnaround strategy for e-commerce. The current CEO, George Sherman, had announced that he was stepping down at the end of July. He did say, though, if there is a new CEO sooner, he would step down ahead of that. So we'll keep you posted on a date for that official. Actually, we have it right here. June 21st is the start date for the new CEO. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Mike. Brilliant, right? Worth another.
Okay, so we'll see what happens here with earnings. I do have the earnings expectations up, so you might want to write these down. So when the earnings come out, we have, oh, wait, nope, they're out. They literally just came out. Okay, net sales came in at $1.28 billion. That's a beat on net sales. Net sales were estimated to come in at $1.17 billion. They beat with $1.28 billion. The loss per share expected was 71 cents. The adjusted loss per share came in at 45 cents. That is a beat. That's a beat on sales. That's a beat on bottom line. That's very good. We've got a loss of $68.8 million. Net sales beat. We do have the veteran, the AMC, I'm sorry, it says GameStop appoints Amazon veteran as new CEO, CFO. We just heard about that from CNBC here. But this is so far a beat on bottom line and a beat on net sales for GME. It's not much of a beat, but it is a beat. We are seeing the stock react to the downside at the moment. We were up about 5% before earnings. Right now, the share price is falling between 2 to 4% is where we're bouncing right now. All right, let's go ahead and see what we've got here.
Again, $25 billion, let's call it, in market value, $25 billion. The market misplaces $20 billion in value every single day.
GameStop is suspending or continuing to suspend guidance. So no guidance from GameStop. So all we have are sales and then adjusted earnings per share. GameStop right now down as much as 6% in the after hours. No guidance.
Time sales for stuff that was not going to be profitable for 10 years on the growth side. So,
but it's outlasted the stocks.
Yeah, it's going down.
Surprising.
It's outlasted all the crazy IPO.
The more you get to details and business stuff, the less well the stock does. When it exists just in kind of hope and prayer and noise, it works.
It's going down on the numbers which are crossing, which we're going to get more detail on in just a moment from Kate Rooney. But just so you've got them, sales of 1.2 billion, 1.28 billion, and a loss of 70 million, but down 7% now. Josh, I guess the other question for everyone else is, as Sarah and Mike was saying, this has prolonged for longer. Clearly, it's prolonged for longer for the likes of AMC. We've had some volatility this past week, this past month in Bitcoin. Do you still think those things will stay carved out and not affect the broader markets?
Yeah, this is its own thing. I have said since January that this is not an issue for the broader market. It's just way more interesting for the media than it is for most asset allocators. I don't like seeing it down 20 after this report. So I'm hoping they make a blockchain announcement of some sort. And I will be looking for which celebrities will be on the conference call asking questions. Hopefully we hear from Barstool Securities and maybe Elon jumps in. Who knows? It's a barrel of laughs every time they put out news. So tonight should be no exception.
Let's get those numbers, get them confirmed. Kate Rooney.
So we've already covered these numbers, but we'll hear them explain it too in case there's something new.
Compare these to any estimates. The coverage, as you mentioned, is pretty thin here. Only 4 analysts cover the stock, but here they are, $1.28 billion in revenue for the quarter. EPS was a loss of 45 cents adjusted. Net sales grew 25% in the quarter. No guidance here from GameStop, although they did give us some numbers on May sales. They say those were up 27% year over year, and this comes on the heels of the announcement of a new CEO and CFO, both from Amazon. So that's probably the bigger headline here, although Q1 revenue looks to be up pretty substantially year over year. Back to you.
Kate Rooney. Kate, thank you. Webcast scheduled for
5 p.m. Eastern. It's amazing how much focus we're giving
It's crazy.
to GameStop. But you know what?
Yeah.
The fact
I
that
want
this
to see
has
the
expanded,
HQ camera. What's going on at headquarters?
probably nothing, because they're not sharing anything with the media, and they're not. I mean, this is very different strategy than what AMC has taken.
Sure.
With CEO Adam Aron going directly on YouTube to talk to these retail traders.
All right, let's go ahead and pull off this right here. So, yeah, I mean, okay, interesting. So GameStop sales top estimates, losses narrow more than expected. These are the numbers that we had covered, which is very good news. We do have a lack of guidance, though. I think the lack of guidance so far in the report, or a lack of any kind of key plan outlined in the report, is something that is making Wall Street a little bit more nervous. I think Wall Street is a little bit more interested in detail. Now, the earnings call will be fascinating in earnings. I usually watch those back on 2X, but that would be another potential catalyst for them to announce something. If they just talk about sales, just talk about online sales, growing percentage of online sales, that's great, but probably not going to be what the market is looking for right now. Market's really looking for hope about new products and that transformation. My guess is they probably don't actually have the full transformation mapped out yet. And when they actually have it, then, then they'll provide that vision. But for here, we could jump on over to take a peek at here. See, Outlook, GameStop is suspending guidance at this time, or continuing to suspend guidance at this time. Cautionary statements. We've got our numbers here. This is always nice to look at net sales. I like to break this into online and in-store when possible. So it depends on what they give us here. Net sales, software, collectibles, 13.7% going into collectibles, which is actually up from 8.9% a year ago. Software down substantially, though. We would expect that. Software down to 31.2% versus 40.8%. Last year. So we are expecting, of course, software to plummet. Would like to see this get separated into online and offline. And they don't show that. No reference to online breaking down. It's pretty simple here. And wait, what's it? Okay, this is just history. Got it. On liquidity. Yeah. So anyway, conference call will come up in about 45 minutes. Again, I usually like to just watch these back at 2x. So what we might do is just do a summary video later of what was said. Let's listen in here.
Copper, crude, corn, the three.
Yes, I will be streaming the CPI release at 5:30 in the morning California time tomorrow. It's going to be a big moment.
Going up is both because of housing as well as for inflation. So you have a lot of these options, Wilfred, that you can go to in terms of protecting yourself as well as getting attractive returns.
And we will leave it there. Sri Kumar, Josh Brown, thank you both for joining us. Tomorrow's May CPI report, speaking of inflation, will give investors the latest read on the state of inflation in this country. Up next, BlackRock's Russ Kostrich on how much of a risk inflation is to Wall Street and how investors should be preparing for it. Plus, the CEO of Planet Fitness on whether he is seeing an increase in membership as the economy continues to reopen. We're back in just 90 seconds on Closing Bell.
All right. So looks like somebody in the chat saying FUD. I don't ever understand why, because I don't think we ever give FUD. I think we give realistic insights in terms of what's happening in the marketplace. But yeah, there could be a lot of FUD around CPI because there is fear, there is uncertainty, and there is doubt in terms of what inflation is going to look like, which is concerning. And that's why we pay attention to it. So we never want to be head in the sand, right? We always want to be looking ahead. All right. So what else? Well, going back to the charts and after hours here, we have Geo. I don't know. This is another rotation down here in after hours. Rotation down 8.71% on Geo. GameStop actually turned green to 1.2%, which is nice. That's good. It could be anticipation here for the earnings call. So if the earnings call doesn't provide details, it's possible that could fade. AMC stable in the after hours. That's good. You mentioned car data. Where did you see car data was up 6%? That would be interesting. Yeah, I'll take a peek at what you're saying here, Brandon. Thank you for that. But yes, I will be streaming CPI in the morning. I don't know anything about CLF. Sorry about that. All right. So, I'm happy to take a peek at it. But yeah, right now, I don't know anything about it. I can do a quick look at it. But give me a second here. So we've got Geo's trying to recover a little bit here. You're kind of hitting a bottom in the after hours on Geo. Pretty highly shorted as well. Lordstown Motors dropping another 4%. They actually ended flat on the day, which I'm surprised by. Really? Did it? No way. Yeah, because it was down at least 16% yesterday. So it's definitely gotten beat up. And then it was down this morning at open. Oh, yeah, it had a little run. Wow. Yeah, look at that run. See, it was down throughout the morning, and then all of a sudden just had this explosive run here. Yeah, it's not a surprise because the short interest is still high on it. And as that information about the company's liquidity concerns spreads and people get more familiar with it, it becomes less damaging, less fear-mongering. So not a surprise. It's still down a chunk from where it was a couple days ago when that news came out, or yesterday when the news came out, rather, yesterday during the day. All right, what else we have? Somebody says they bought a Tesla today. Tesla needs some numbers. Tesla needs a little love. All right. Brandon, I'll send links in a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't mind looking at what you got. Okay. Otherwise, after hours, pretty stable right now. While we, Restoration Hardware, though. Wow, Restoration Hardware up 5 point. I think they reported today. So they must have just smashed sales. Done something pretty good here. All right. Yeah, I don't see any tag right now in Discord, so I'll keep an eye on this. So what else do we have? Well, we have an event this weekend, in case you don't know yet, in San Francisco, and then next weekend in LA. The easiest way to get details for that event and sign up is download the Meet Kevin app on your phone. If you just type in Meet Kevin, you'll never miss a notification again, and you'll be able to click to see where upcoming rallies are. So, for example, this is the app right now. Is that ever going to focus? I don't know if the camera's going to focus. Yep, there it is. You can see me live there. You can see other videos. Rallies is this button right here, and then sort of historical videos and things like that. But yeah, free app, easy to download, and would love to see you in San Francisco. If you're in San Francisco, it is a campaign rally, and that'll be at 4. I can't remember what we put on the event. It was either 4 or 4:30 on Saturday, so it'll be super fun. All right, what else? So looking here at after hours, 2.6 on Yelp. Gosh, I remember the days of Yelp being under $20. It sounds like it should be so long ago, but it was literally just last year. Root rotating down a little bit in the afters as well. A lot of the momentum movers rotating to the downside in after hours, with the exception of, actually, I don't know that we really have an exception here. Gevo is up slightly. I don't know. If we have a red day tomorrow and Friday in momentum, it might be time to pick up some options again for the next move, unless we just go into a totally different sector and we end up going into crypto, which is a possibility as well. One of the reasons I picked up some crypto today, which I'll talk about what I got later, but we definitely want to keep an eye on this. Yeah, Ethereum 25 right now. Bitcoin up 10% here, 36,000. Bitcoin had the biggest sell-off, of course. Okay, good. So I said that I was going to look at a short interest on CLNE, and then what's the other one? Let's see if I can get this. Somebody else wanted me to look at some steel company or something like that. What was that again? Let me see if I have it here. Oh, CLF. Okay, I'm gonna try to get the app open here. Apps portal. How do I feel about AMC? I love AMC. How hard is it to add a custom notification sound for your app? That would be great. I think you can. Can't you pick your own notification sound? No, maybe you can't. I don't know. That's a really good question. Yeah, and then Brandon, I don't see your details. GME looking more and more like a bubble, says somebody. Somebody donated here to talk down GME and just provide insight, I suppose, that you think it's a bubble. Okay. All right. CLF, let's look at that. So CLF and CLNE. CLF, 11.4% short, and CLNE. And then let's go see what CLF is. CLNE. CLNE is 8.35% short. CLF. Let's see what this thing is. Cleveland Cliffs. Security description. Let's see. Private Discord chat. Okay. So manufacturers custom-made pellets and hot briquette iron, flat rolled carbon steel, stainless steel, tin plate, long steel, lots of steel. So it's a steel manufacturer. Interesting. Okay. Wonder what's so new about it. Cleveland Cliffs jumps on support from meme stock traders. Ah, that's why we're being asked about it. Wall Street Bet's favorite Clover Health drops as clean energy fuels, Cleveland Cliffs, and Workhorse rally. Starting to get a little sort of distracted, the momentum movement. I see. Okay, so it's not so much a fundamentals play, it's more of just a momentum mover. Got it. I'm going to look at the fundies really quick. So the thing's got an $18.2 billion market cap. I'm sorry, market cap of $11.5 billion as of March 31st. They have a declining earnings per share. That's incredible. Why? Yeah, their revenue is projected to go down. Wait, or is it getting a bump here? Hold on. Oh, it must be getting a big contract in 2021 or something like that, because the revenue is going from 9 billion. Is that billion? That's billion. Oh, wow. Yeah. $9 billion of revenue to $19 billion of revenue. And that's going to fade down from 19 to 17 to 15 billion. Well, 15.9 billion. Those are the estimates. Right now, the company loses money, but at the end of this year, they expect to have a $4.35 EPS, which is amazing because that means you're paying like 5 times earnings for it. But in 2023, it'll go down to 1.38 as an earnings per share, which is more like paying 20 times earnings for it. Interesting. So there must have been some big contract here. If I was interested in the fundamentals here, I would identify exactly where that money's coming from. Yeah, Ryan's here says it's because of the Biden infrastructure bill. Maybe. That is interesting. It's one to keep an eye on. As far as we looked at the short on it, let's just look at the actual stock itself. So CLF on Webull. So here's CLF. Lots of volume coming in today. Let's go to the day chart and compare volume. Yeah, big volume spike here. So is that how this is going to work? It's going to be up 14%. Oh, it's up 14% right now on the day, up 0.25% in the after hours. It's not particularly short, and it's also not particularly depressed. The thing's kind of been doing fine. You know, it's had a lull period, but at $23, I mean, it's at some of the highest prices we've seen. Let me see. Oh, wait, it used to be much more expensive back in 2012. Okay, well, 2012 doesn't matter. Here, this right here is a view of about the last 4 or 5 years here. And you can see we're kind of at all-time highs on it within the last 5 years. It used to be higher, but maybe they had a split or something like that. We don't know. But either way, the trend lately here has been towards the upside. So it's interesting that this one's getting set up for a Wall Street pump, so to speak. All right. Somebody says the AMC CEO just tweeted. Let's take a look at that. Adam, let's go. Yeah, 1 minute ago. Here we go. As of June 2nd, AMC had more than 501 million total outstanding shares. AMC's number of shareholders in the U.S. and abroad has increased to about 4.1 million, and you own more than 80% of AMC. While some own more and some own less, the average stock holding for AMC is about 120 shares. Wow. That's cool. That's super, super cool. That's epic right here. Ape Nation. That's awesome. That's really powerful. That's cool. I like that a lot. 80. The average amount of shares is 120. So 120 times, say, $50, $6,000. That's the average position. Wow. Very cool. Okay. Awesome. So what else do we have going on? Let's see here. Well, remember to get your Meet Kevin app before I'm going to comment on some of these things here, but make sure you get your Meet Kevin app. Type it into your app store, get Meet Kevin, and maybe we'll look at some of these other stocks at a different time. But make sure you get your Meet Kevin app. Make sure you use your 40% off coupon code for the amazing programs linked down below. Live streams, alerts, all that's guaranteed through August 31st, but lifetime access to course content. And I'll always be adding to that. And I have no plans to stop live streaming or alerting, so those will keep coming as long as possible. I just promised them out at sort of increments. Right now, that'd be about 4 months, 4-month increments. It's about right. But anyway, okay, going back to the sticks here. Yeah, Root now losing about 4% in the afters. GameStop back to red. Now, we do have the earnings call coming up in about 30 minutes. I will catch the replay of it or get the transcript. Lordstown, 2.94%. And then we'll circle back with some insight in what we found out there. Geo down 9.9% or 9.09%. Really giving up on some of these momentums quick. The momentum moves aren't lasting long, so be careful with that. That is an interesting new trend here, is that the momentum moves are going faster than they were before. You know, with AMC, I mean, it was like 10 to 14 days of straight up. Now we're getting 1 day up, 1 day down on some of these momentum moves. Anyway, things to pay attention to. Let's see here. Somebody says 90. What's 98%? AMC CEO math didn't add up. What's that? Oh, that in total shareholders. Let me see what y'all are saying. AMC's number of shareholders and has increased to about number of shareholders. Or are you multiplying the number of shareholders times the average, the 420, or I'm sorry, 420, 120 times 4 million? It's pretty close. What's wrong with the math? And it was 4.1 million, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty close. Li Auto's okay. I'm not so convinced on their hybrid system. Yeah, so I don't know what. This is 100% proof that AMC is heavily naked shorted, and whoever is partaking in this should be in prison. Holding to. I don't. What am I missing? Why does this? Well, I mean, he was probably rounding is the thing to consider as well, right? See, it's probably not exactly 120 shares. It's probably not exactly 4.1 million. So really talking about the 10 million here in not counted. So we own 492 mil, institutions hold. If you do the math for yeah, I see what you're saying with the 98%. I get that. But what's the point of that? Total shareholders, AMC shareholders in the US and abroad has increased to about 4.1 million. This is not retail. This is all shareholders, right? All of the shareholders is about 4.1 mil. I don't see the sinisterness here. And maybe call me stupid here, but I'm not seeing what the problem is. Okay, hold on. 4.1 million. And you own more than 80%. More than 80%. Is that what you're referring to? I think it's because he said 80%. And you own more than 80%. Sure, increased to about 4.1 million. And you own more than 80%. Well, he's talking to the retail investors here, right? So if you take this apart, it's possible that he said about 4.1 mil. So what if it was 4.5? Well, why would he round like that? He wouldn't. I mean, that doesn't make sense. And you own more than 80%. So 4.1 million is more than 80%. No, that's not. I think this is confusing because of the way it's worded. The CEO was sending a message of unification. The thing is, here's what, okay, let's do this. Because this is going to create confusion otherwise. We're going to make this simple. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break this down. So here's what we know. June 2nd, June 2, AMC 501, 780, 240 shares outstanding. Then he said that number of shareholders is 4.1 million. 4.1 million, about. That's the total number of shareholders. So 4.1 million would include institutions and hedge funds, right? That would include everything. This would include absolutely everything. Then he's saying, and you, the retail investor, owns more than 80% of AMC, so 80% of the market cap. While some own more and some own less, the average stock holding is 120 shares. Okay, so these are the things that we have right here. This is what we just learned from this tweet. And some of these things are independent of the other. And that matters because, just because the total number of shareholders is 4.1 million doesn't mean that that's 80%. These two could be totally unrelated. He's just stating there are about 4.1 million shareholders. Of the 4.1 million shareholders, you guys, the retail people own 80%. I think these are two totally separate statements. I believe it's being inferred that retail investors are I think that's the mistake. I think exactly, George, that's the mistake. People are assuming that retail investors are the 4.1. That's not what he said. He did not say that retail investors are the 4.1 million. I'm going to make a little note on my tweet. Okay. Keep in mind, Aaron did not say retail investors are the 4.1 million. I am reading this as two thoughts. One, there are about 4.1 million shareholders. Separate thought. U equals retail investor, and we own more than 80% of AMC. That's my read on this. So tell me maybe y'all can feel free to comment on this tweet too, but this is my take on this. Is that, keep in mind, the CEO did not say retail investors are the 4.1 million. That seems like the total, including everyone. I am reading this as two thoughts. There are about 4.1 million shareholders. Is that one word? It should be one word. There we go. Separate thought. Yeah, good to get the typos out. U equals retail investors, and therefore we own more than 80% of AMC. All right, cool. Get rid of some spacing here. That's my take. Does anybody have does anybody disagree with that in the comments? Let me know right now, and then I'll take a peek here. Come on. There we go. Boom. Okay. Also, if retail owns more than 80%, does that mean retail investors are contributing to short selling? Not necessarily. I'm confused. I thought someone said we owned 85%. I mean, I don't know that, honestly, this matters. I mean, it's very cool that this is mostly owned by the people, not by institutions, right? So if who says institutions own more than 100%? I think folks are looking for things that aren't here. Yeah, I think really, yeah, people are mistaking this substantially. Anyway, all right. GME, okay. AMC's tweet. All right. So anyway, that's a breakdown of that tweet, which is a good insight to have. So now we have a little breakdown. I think people got a little carried away with some false assumptions there. Anywho, that has now been clarified. All right. Now, let's go to Webull. Take another peek here. GameStop is down about 6% now. AMC down 3.6 in the after hours. See this that tweet's not helping so far in the after hours, at least. Or maybe it temporarily did, but it sold right back down. Yeah, no real change. Not okay. All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the short interest is tomorrow. Yeah, I got Brandon here says he remembers the CPI videos from February. That's crazy. No, Chris, that's not what was said. What you have up here is not what was said. He did not say that 80% equals 4.1 million. That was never said. There's a period in between. And I think he shortened this, making it confusing. I think, honestly, the best thing we could do is just tweet him again and clarify. Let's just do that here. Would you mind clarifying that these two are distinct thoughts? These two are indeed distinct thoughts. There we go. If you don't mind, maybe just retweet that or whatever, heart it or something so he gets notified about it. But that's my take here. Yeah, this is not, from what we can tell, oh, it's a commented period, but from what we can tell, this is not, these are two thoughts. And these are like two sentences combined. Shareholders has increased to 4.1 million. That's one thought. Second thought, you, aka Ape Nation, own more than 80% of AMC. Those are two separate thoughts. It's two statistics in one sentence. And you can't combine there. All right. I think we're good. This is why Twitter shouldn't limit character counts. Seriously, that's exactly what this is. It is it's actually not is it? I mean, it's a comma splice is what it is. See, now we're going grammar. AMC's number of shareholders in the U.S. and abroad has increased to about 4.1 million, and you own more than 80% of AMC. Yeah, the two thoughts shouldn't be linked. Honestly, he should have put a period there. It's so confusing when you link two thoughts like this, and then the comma splice. Whatever. All right. I think we did well here. So, folks, thank you very much. Love y'all. And, folks, we will see you in the next one. I'm excited to see the earnings call or listen to the earnings call for AMC. I do for GameStop. I do have an interview, so I'll have to catch up with it after the interview. I am going to be live for CPI tomorrow. So hold on. In the official statement from AMC on AMC press release, it says retail. That retail shares is, hold on. I'll look really quick. Investor relations, AMC. Okay, give me a second here. All right, let's see here. AMC press release, June 9th, shareholder count. Okay, that could help. So, as previously disclosed, there were X many shares. 4.1 individual shareholders. See, this does not say retail. Yeah. See, look, here's the clarity. The number of investors who want to own a part of AMC continues to increase and now stands at approximately 4.1 million. More separate thought. See, this is properly done. Separate thoughts. More than 80% of AMC shares are held by a broad base of retail investors. See, it's a separate thought. That literally reiterates it. So, separate thought is correct. Weeble? What's going on Weeble? AMC spiking a little bit? Oh, yeah. What's happening here? Some dancing. Does this glitching. Usually when it's... it does look funny. Yeah, this is usually when you're... well, it could be a variety of reasons, but sometimes you get market makers closing out positions, contracts, margin calls. Lots of different things can have this happen. This happens in the after hours sometimes. Not a big concern. Just a glitch for now, the way it looks. So I wouldn't be worried about it. Okay, get the app. If you like my perspective, the way I break things down, use that coupon code down below, 40% off. Join me in the programs. You'll love all of them. They're all great. Real estate investing, stock psychology of money, YouTube, sales, property management. There's something for everyone. Amazing programs. Each of them come with the live streams. So if you want to try it out, try one of the programs. They all get the live stream. And stock psychology of money gets the alerts. And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you being here. Bye.